That's my name.
I'm going to bring it in while you're wiping your nose like a crazy person.
Me and my fucking Coke nose, and I've never done Coke. I should at least be able to get the Coke high, right?
I don't know when it's coming out, but the movie we talked about last time we recorded, definitely somebody was on Coke because Van Damme was in the movie. But yeah, hey, this is Sharks Across Hollywood. That was referencing Bloodsport, the episode that we recorded before this, but I don't know when it's gonna come out because I don't fucking care about that anymore. This week, this episode, whatever, we're talking about a movie called Anaconda. I looked at IMDb before I actually said, hey, this is Sharks Across Hollywood, and I got mad because I looked at what the rating of the movie was. And it annoyed me right off the bat.
Okay.
Do you know? Did you look at IMDb?
No, I have not IMDb'd anything on this.
All right. I'll say it right before we even really get going. This movie has a 4.9 out of 10 on IMDb.
Really?
Why?
It's not a good movie, but it's so fun.
I will disagree. I think it is a good movie. It's not a great movie. It is 1,000,000% better than I have been led to believe my entire fucking life.
Well, that's probably true. Like,
everybody made this out to be like, this is the worst movie ever, but it's funny. I'm like, no, it's a okay movie.
It's got some major problems. It's a
1997 Jurassic Park clone. So it's
that
thing.
But it's working on probably a third of Jurassic Park's budget at most.
40 million, I think.
Yeah, and Jurassic Park was what?
100 probably.
Okay, so maybe so we'll say 40%, not more than a third.
And you have Steven Spielberg, who just knew how to do stuff. I don't care about the shitty CGI, which we'll talk about it.
Wow. You want to talk about some shitty CGI.
Yeah, but remember, it was 1997.
I remember. I was there. I saw this in the theater. Okay?
This had not a huge budget. CGI was new still.
I'm glad that movies like this existed to trod the ground that allowed CGI to get to the place it's at now. Having said that snake looks like shit.
Well, yeah.
It looks like sweaty dog shit.
Yeah, but
it is so fucking bad.
Okay, do me a favor. You go back to 1997 and try to do that and make it look better.
No, look, I'm... Okay, you know how I would do it? I'd cover the snake up more. I wouldn't show all those kills the way they showed them. I'd do it Jaws style.
But you know how I feel about bad CGI anyways. I don't give a shit.
I know you don't. Yeah.
I could not give two shits, especially back then.
And back then you were like, what, 7, 8, 9?
And back then, well, I never saw this when it came out.
But my point is, at the time you were 7, 8, 9. So when you were going through that transition, you were still in kid mode. It didn't bother you like it bothered me. When I was in kid mode, I got some of the best practical special effects. Like, I got some really genuinely great practical special effects from my kid movies.
I was there for all that.
I got Labyrinth. I got fucking Dark Crystal.
You're bringing up Labyrinth like it's this masterpiece of a movie when
fucking is.
That goes more towards the so bad it's good kind of thing for me.
Oh, fuck right off. No, that movie is a masterpiece.
That is a way dumber movie than this.
That movie is a masterpiece. Not as... Okay, I will give you The Dark Crystal is a far superior movie. Having said that, Labyrinth is awesome. It's very campy. It is. But intentionally so. I mean, come on. Watch how David Bowie plays that character. He knows exactly what he's doing.
I have seen that movie exactly one time.
Oh, that's your problem. Okay, you went into it with expectations, watched it one time.
Well, here, do you know how many
formed your judgments?
Do you know how many times? Do you know how many times I tried to watch it before I made it through it that one time?
No, and I don't want to.
Definitely not my thing. Glad I watched it though. Because I watched it in a theater. I watched it at the Garland right after David Bowie died. They were showing the movie anyways, and then he died, and then it became like a big thing.
Sure. Yeah, I'll bet that was packed, huh?
Yeah, it was. And Rachel's friend was with us. She doesn't like me, I don't think. But she really doesn't. So if I come out and like make fun of something that she liked, I'm like, no, I liked it. I'm making fun of it because that's what it's for. And she got kind of offended, but then I'm like,
okay, yeah.
Do you hear what I make fun of Power Rangers all the time, but you know how much I like that.
Sure.
And she actually understood, which was fucking crazy because she never like, I think that was the first time she's like, oh nope, you make sense.
Well, good. I'm glad that you guys were able to find some common ground there and not turn it into a whole thing. But you're fucking wrong. Labyrinth is awesome.
If you're into that sort of thing.
Jesus, that was like 8 years ago too.
Yeah, it was.
Wow, that was before we met.
It was. Oh man. Yeah.
Wow, my mom was still alive.
Jeez, really?
Yeah, she died like I think 4 months after Bowie.
Well, thanks for bringing that down.
But it's okay. It doesn't really bother me anymore. I'm okay with it.
Now we got to bring it back up by talking about Anaconda.
Let's do some dead mom jokes.
And how wrong people are about this fucking movie.
Okay, I will give you it's a better movie than most people say it is. It is. And I had that thought while I was watching it. I was like, all right, this movie isn't as bad as I remember it being.
I'm watching it for the first time at 36 years old. Like I saw the part where when I was a kid where Owen Wilson's making out with that chick cuz I'm 10, 11 years old spanking it to any like
at her hottest. Yeah, absolute peak hotness.
You know who sucks in this movie though? Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah, that's true.
She's not great.
Jennifer Lopez is pretty bad. Jon Voight and that fucking accent.
The best. He is my favorite part of the movie.
He's my favorite part of the movie for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
For all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, no, everything the movie gets right, there's also something that's like, why did you do that?
That fucking, if he didn't win a Razzie for that accent alone.
he's in paycheck mode, like 100%. I'm like, dude, he sounds like Tommy Wiseau and Razor Ramon, like together.
Yes. Oh my God. I had that thought. I don't know who that is, Razor Ramon, but I was like, this is like if Tommy Wiseau like
and Scarface.
Yeah, that was what I thought. Yes, I thought if Tommy Wiseau was doing Scarface. Yeah. No, I literally did have the thought if Tommy Wiseau was doing Scarface, it would sound like this.
Yeah, and along with that, there's just like a sea of people that don't get this movie. Like one of my least favorite criticisms of any movie is I don't like this because it's not realistic. I'm like, it's a movie. Yes.
I have to agree with you on that. I didn't like it because the CGI is so fucking bad. It's so bad.
It doesn't matter, man.
And that is something, honestly, bad CGI can ruin a movie for me. It always has been able to do that. And especially when this came out. Because this came out in what? 99? It was that?
It was 97. Early. Yeah.
It was 97.
So you got to get the fuck over it, man. If Jurassic Park had come out 4 years prior to this. And that was like the first movie to be like, oh, hey, CGI can be used well and right. They didn't use the CGI right in this one.
No, they did not.
But they tried.
They severely overreached on this movie.
Oh, yeah.
There was way too much showing, not enough implying. I understand why they went that route. They wanted it to be a big spectacle. They had the ability to use the CGI, so they wanted to try it. God, this came out in 97. I didn't realize it came out that early. I was thinking more like 99.
No, 97.
But suffice to say, 97, I was 18. I was in peak take myself way too fucking seriously mode.
It's time to turn that off now.
I agree. That's why I said I had a lot of fun watching it this time.
No, I actually really liked it. I was really surprised that I liked it.
Did I not say that I had a lot of fun watching it? Because I did.
I don't remember now.
It was a hoot.
I'm too busy ranting about.
I was cracking up over Jon Voight like the entire time. As soon as he steps on screen and starts being a badass, I'm like, Jesus Christ.
With that, I don't know how to describe it. That scowl thing that he's doing.
We're like he's always frowning severely. Like he's doing a Danny Trejo, which I completely forgot Trejo was in this.
You know what I didn't realize?
You literally is like blink and you miss it.
I didn't realize how fucking old Danny Trejo was. Because I knew he started acting kind of later in life. I didn't realize he barely started acting when he was like 40. It was fucking ridiculous.
Yep.
But I'm sure it was before that. Like I discovered him in like From Dusk Till Dawn and stuff, and that's probably the first time I ever saw him.
I think the first thing I ever saw him in was Desperado. But yeah, like right around that, Desperado was a few years earlier, and he just started coming out like he did Desperado. and then he did.
He's in, I think, all three.
Con Air,
all 3 Dusk Till Dawn movies.
Dusk Till Dawn, and like suddenly this dude was everywhere. I was like, Jesus, this guy's really like he's blowing up, man.
He's in every movie. He's like Buscemi.
It was like him and Steve. I was just about to say him and Steve Buscemi. Like that was their era where they started just being everywhere.
They'll never really star in anything.
But they're in
everything
for a while. Yeah,
like every once in a while they'll get like a machete or something, and
but rarely,
Buscemi gets Boardwalk Empire and shit.
Yeah,
but yeah, no, I loved seeing him at the beginning. But he's old. I didn't know he was 80.
Yeah, he's not.
What the fuck?
He's not a young guy.
He looks pretty good.
Yeah, I completely forgot he was in. I completely forgot Eric Stoltz was in this. Although, in fairness, he does sleep through most of the movie.
Yes. So yeah, no, that's another one of these things. Nobody told me. I knew Ice Cube was in it. I knew Jennifer Lopez was in it. I knew John Voight was in it. I didn't know.
I forgot Owen Wilson was in it.
I forgot, but then he popped up, and I'm like, oh yeah, he is in this fucking movie. Back before anybody gave a shit.
Yep.
It was J-Lo before anybody gave a shit. It was Ice Cube.
I think this was like his second movie after Bottle Rocket or something like that.
Oh, jeez, really?
Yeah, I think he did Bottle Rocket in like 96 or maybe even early 97.
Yeah, I don't remember. I remember watching it and not liking it very much, but... And I know we've had this conversation
I love Bottle
before,
Rocket.
and
you're
like,
fucking wrong. That movie's hilarious.
I think about it all the time because I remember you're like, dude, that was like the first cool indie movie I ever watched. You said,
yeah,
and you were really you even said it in a surfer accent.
I
don't think that.
I don't think that's true.
I don't think that part's actually true.
I think you're remembering it that way.
I'm gonna pretend because I had to move my arms that way. But yeah, no, Eric Stoltz pops up and I'm like, hey, it's Eric Stoltz, and then 10 minutes later he just is asleep until the end of the movie when he wakes up. And I forgot he survived when I watched it the second time. I'm like, wait, he died, right? Also, how the fuck did Jon Voight plan this whole thing?
Oh, it's so ridiculous. Like that part of it is so stupid. Like what?
I can see like him getting his friend who he's like partnered up with to captain the boat that they're on because they're going to need somebody who knows the Amazon rainforest and shit.
Sure.
But like, how to get the wasp down Eric Stoltz's throat? His name is Kale in the movie, by the way.
I mean, yeah, you put it in the respirator. Like I could see that. Like that's
is that what he did?
I think the idea is he put it in the respirator. Yeah, I mean, he didn't show it or anything like that.
Like all it is just like, and then he just starts choking.
But the whole idea, like if you think about it, okay, he's like, all right, he's gonna go out. He's gonna get trapped on the river, right? But his buddy is gonna come with this big boat that he already had, mind you. That was already his
with a documentary film crew.
With a documentary film crew, and then he's going to trick them into going up the way that he's saying, which just happens to be the exact direction they need to go. Because remember, in the end, he is telling the truth.
It turns out he is correct about that.
That's where those people are.
I'm like, you don't give that guy credit. What the fuck's wrong with you?
And then, is it that he needed human bait to capture the Anaconda? Because the fact of the matter is, he really does seem to be trying most of the movie to capture it without killing anybody.
Yeah, for like a second, he kills the monkey, which I was not thrilled with. Why didn't he use the boar for bait too?
Later in the movie, he kills the monkey and then puts its blood in a bucket. Which, by the way, that was way more than one monkey.
I'm pretty sure there was another.
That was a lot of dead monkeys.
There was that one. There was the one monkey that ended up getting like spit back out at them right in Owen Wilson's face or somebody's face. Yeah. And then later on, there's more. There's got to be there's like several more monkeys.
Yeah. So he's got this bucket of monkey blood, and then he splashes it over them. Like, does he not realize that he could have not wasted time with the monkey blood and just cut one of them if they needed blood to, like, if he's already trying to kill them and use them as bait, why kill the monkeys? The logic of the writing of this movie is dumb as hell.
I didn't say it was perfect, all right?
It's like, all right, I get it. Like, it's a PG-13 movie. You can't have him, like, slicing them up. This can't be Saw, you know. It can't be The Green Inferno. It's, you know, it's a PG-13 movie. Okay, so he kills the monkey, uses their blood. But it makes no goddamn sense. The plot is so convoluted. It's so stupid. Like, why wouldn't he just join them as the co-pilot of the ship or something like that? Or as a guide? Because
then we won't get that cool reveal of Jon Voight as Cerrone. He'll just like be there.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not as cool anymore.
That's my point. Like, for him to have made this like a whole plot is stupid. It is stupid. This movie is kind of stupid. It's fun, very fun. We'll never say this movie's not fun. But it is not smart.
I said it was not perfect, but pretty good. I never said it was intelligent.
I wouldn't call it pretty good. I'd call it bad, but very watchable.
I'm not on that train though. It's an okay movie.
It's a fun movie.
It's above average.
It's way below average.
It's
way fucking below average. It's fun though. That's what saves
from
it.
a '90s perspective of this nonsense that's coming out.
No,
yeah.
I'm sorry. This movie is not smart. It's below average. It is of below average intelligence. J-Lo really does suck in it.
Oh my god!
Like any charm she ever had is not being brought to play in this movie. I'm not trying to jump on a J-Lo hate train or something.
Oh,
like
me
that.
neither. But I'm realizing that I don't really like her very much.
I don't really care about her in either way. Like I've never really cared much about Jennifer Lopez. She's fine.
I like Selena. This is the first movie where I saw her where I'm like, I think I might actually not like her. I don't know. I'm not even sure Affleck likes her.
She's just not interesting in this movie because she's not really contributing in a major way to what's going on. She's just kind of reacting to everything that goes on around her, but she's not really a driving force in the story, you know.
No. I appreciate that she survives at the end with Ice Cube because, you know, it's a horror movie. And
the black guy, the people of color actually survived. What are the odds of that?
All the whiteys.
Well, except for Danny Trejo. He wasn't star material yet.
Right after we get some nice shots of the Amazon rainforest, because apparently they actually went there to film this.
Oh, really?
Which is cool. And then after Danny Trejo does his thing and shoots himself in the head because the Anaconda's coming after him, we learn later that him and John Voight and the guy who's captaining the boat with the documentary crew were all in cahoots together. The first thing I wrote is cut to J-Lo and her nipples. Not that I noticed, because she's wearing this super thin white shirt and she just stands up and you could just see nipples. Less nipples, more areolas.
You want to know what my first thought in this movie was? Yeah, that's a fair way to end it. Because if I knew a giant anaconda was going to eat me, I'd shoot myself in the head. Absolutely, absolutely. The anaconda kills are fucking horrifying. Like, if you think about them in a realistic way, if you think about, like, what if that happened to you? That's fucking terrifying.
Oh, according to several reviewers on IMDb, it doesn't happen that way. Let's talk about, like, all the characters and stuff, because, you know, we have Danny Trejo no longer counts because he's fucking dead. He's barely a character. He's just there for that opening horror scene that we have to have in all these movies.
It was a good opener.
It was good. It was really good.
They do a really good job of not overshowing in that, which is a great way to open a movie.
You don't see the snake, you just see him kind of like panicking and something's breaking the floorboards like Bugs Bunny and he climbs to the top of the mast and fucking shoots himself in the head.
There's clearly a threat. He's clearly terrified. He's got that great Danny Trejo face, albeit significantly younger.
But like still in his 50s.
Yeah.
Which fucking surprised the shit out of me.
And it's a rock solid opener.
So we have Jennifer Lopez playing Terry something. Eric Stoltz playing Kale, who is I think the director of the documentary that they're doing. She must be a producer.
No, I got the feeling he was the producer.
He's the producer. She's the director. Yeah. And it's like
No, you know what I think it is? I think he is the anthropologist. She's the director.
Either way, they're fucking.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. No, that's not speculation. They say so.
I do appreciate that has
for the audience.
That has no bearing on the plot whatsoever, which is fucking beautiful. that was a super smart writing choice, and it probably was in the original script. And Eric Stoltz is like, I have other shit to do, which is why he is asleep for the entire movie. We meet Ice Cube and Owen Wilson and the hot lady whose name I don't remember.
Carrie Werrer.
She's the hot girl in my notes until I think I eventually learn her name, but I can't remember now.
I think she was in Sharknado 2 or 3. I can't remember.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I don't fucking remember. Now I'm going to look it up. Then we meet the British guy from Jumanji.
Yep.
Who you think he's just going to be a complete dickhole for the whole movie, but he actually redeems himself and becomes kind of a cool dude.
No, yeah, I appreciate. He starts out as a dickhole, but then the conflict, the central conflict of the story brings them all together.
Yeah, he's a little pretentious, but then it turns out he's all right. Him and Ice Cube even have like a little thing. They become bros for like a second. But I say we meet Ice Cube and he's Ice Cubing his way through the whole movie. He so is.
Oh yeah,
he's just
he's
doing
in full
his
Ice Cube
thing.
mode. Yeah,
except saying he's swearing a lot less because this is a PG-13 movie and they can't.
Yeah, they had to rein him in on that one. But yep, he's Ice Cube. He's exactly what you expect when you see Ice Cube in a movie.
1997 Ice Cube. This was pre-Family Movie.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. He hadn't done all the, Are We There Yet?
He hadn't even done Three Kings yet, I don't think. So I don't even think anybody took him seriously as an actor technically yet.
Three Kings was was within a couple of years of this, though. And then Owen Wilson. Did you mention Owen Wilson?
Yeah, I did mention Owen Wilson. Again, Owen Wilson, before anybody gave a shit, before he was funny guy Owen Wilson.
Yeah, he doesn't really have much of a... Like, they're not using him to be Owen Wilson in this movie.
He's pretty serious, but you still see that Owen Wilson-iness.
Oh, absolutely. But they're not...
It's probably because we know what he goes on to do.
But they're not writing him like Owen Wilson. He's not written as an Owen Wilson character. He's just Owen Wilson playing this dude.
Like, even when he made Behind Enemy Lines, he was already the funny guy. So he came back and did that, and I'm like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, that was them trying to rebrand him.
Even though I think he did actually pretty good in that movie.
It was
fine.
I remember. It was fine. It wasn't anything special, but it was fine.
I remember watching it a couple times. It's one of those movies that
it did its job.
It's on TV. You got to watch it because
it did its job. Yeah. And it's got Hackman's in that, right?
Yeah.
I'll sit down for Gene Hackman pretty much any day.
And then WWE took it over, and then they put fucking Ken Anderson in the sequel.
I do remember seeing the sequel, and I'm like, oh, okay, so like it's one of those sequels with none of the original cast returning. Yeah. That's gonna be a winner.
That's what they did to the Marine, even though the Marine was a WWE movie to begin with. They just kept making them, and eventually the Miz settled into the Marine character, and he made like 4 movies.
Are the sequels any good? I've never even seen the original.
Actually, the original it's all just dumb action shit. But if you like dumb action shit, you could do way fucking worse than that.
Yeah, I'm pro dumb action.
You know that movie 12 Rounds?
I am aware of it.
John
have
Cena.
Not watched it.
12 Rounds 2 has Randy Orton in it, and I remember that one being really unmemorable because Randy Orton's not that interesting of a person. But they made a third one, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna check this out.
12 more rounds again.
It's 12 Rounds 3. I cannot remember the fucking... It has like a subtitle thing. But it stars Dean Ambrose now. What does he call himself now? I don't remember. He's in AEW now. He will always be Dean Ambrose to me because I never remembered his name outside of the WWE. That one was fucking awesome. Stupid as shit, but awesome. They're just in a building and he has to fucking kick ass the whole time. I'm like, this is awesome.
Okay.
This is what I want out of a dumb action movie. Perfect.
I'm completely for that.
And now that we've talked about WWE movies and Owen Wilson and Behind Enemy Lines, we should probably talk about Anaconda some more. So, of course, this is a horror movie and a nature versus man. Nature fucks up man's day kind of movie, just like Jurassic Park, just like Congo, just like all those. So there has to be a storm. We have to meet a guy who is maybe... Okay, do you remember Congo?
I remember portions of it. I don't remember everything start to finish. Like, I remember the main character, or the main plot arc is, they're ostensibly returning the gorilla to the forest, but really what they're doing is they're looking for this diamond for this communications company. Bruce Campbell was the guy's son, and he got killed right at the beginning of the movie. Tim Curry is
who I want to talk about because it's the same thing. I don't know.
Shady Romanian.
I don't remember if he actually turns out to be the villain, but it's the same idea. He has the shittiest fucking accent.
Oh yeah. No, Tim Curry's accent is.
But it's Tim Curry.
It's.
Tim Curry. You expect Tim Curry to do weird shit like that, especially at that point. You don't expect it from Jon Voight, which makes it way more funny.
Keeping in mind, Jon Voight at this time was kind of going through a renaissance. Like, his career was picking back up.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. No, like, he had been huge in the 70s.
That makes it even weirder.
And then he disappeared for more than a decade. And he was coming back. He had done Mission Impossible, which was a huge hit. Not the smartest entry in the series. Mission Impossible 1 was kind of dumb, but a really huge hit and a very fun movie. And he had done some other stuff too. I can't remember what, but he was in some other stuff, and he was kind of... Things were picking back up for old Jon Voight, and then he does this.
And I'm okay with it. But
no, I love it.
The funniest part about it, besides his voice, is that he is so very clearly a bad guy. There's not a single shot
immediately
where he's on screen where he doesn't have this weird smirk or winking at somebody or
look like he's just sizing Jennifer Lopez up for molestation.
Does the music swell every time he's on screen too?
No.
Like, duh.
They're like, hey, in case you're doubting it at all, he's the villain.
And you're like, I thought the snake was the villain. No,
you need the human villain because realistically, why would these people continue? They would just turn around and go home. They're not insane, so you need a human villain to keep driving them forward.
Right after they pick up John Voight, though, we do see the snake, and the snake eats a fucking panther. And I love the animatronic snake. The animatronic snake rules.
That fucking panther eating scene looks so fucking bad.
You stop that, man. We're having fun here.
It looks so bad. It looks like they found a taxidermied panther.
It probably did.
At like a budget taxidermy shop, and they just kept shooting it at weird angles with the fake snake wrapped around it.
You need to be more
positive. It
positive.
looks so bad.
You need to be more positive.
I loved it.
And
that's my positivity.
And then its eyeball pops out.
It was hilarious. Its eyeball doesn't even pop out. It's a PG-13 movie. They pull away, and there's the eyeball lying on the ground. Which, I mean, I guess, like, the implication is the anaconda squeezed it so hard that its eyeball blew out.
And I'm just like, sure, that's pretty gross, guys. It's PG-13, right?
Seemed a tad excessive for the movie we were in.
There's a snake totem pole, and the Shirashama like to worship them, I guess.
Which, by the way, where the fuck did they get that log that they carved that thing out of? Because that was, like, rough hewn, and those trees were not that big.
And then Cerrone, who was John Voight's character, and Kale, who was Eric Stoltz's character, they're talking about the Shirashama legend and whatever, and Kale calls out Cerrone for being incorrect about something, but then it turns out at the end he's right anyway, so why did we even have that scene?
Yeah, he says, what did he said it was a different tribe.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, the Shirashama do this and this, and then he's like, yeah, no, that sounds right, but I'm pretty sure it's these guys that do that.
Yeah, and then he's like, well, Shirashama too.
So yeah. Then it sounds like he's backpedaling. Yeah, them too. They kind of pull off, I guess, because it's storming. They're gonna chill out and get some fucking. Oh no, Owen Wilson and the hot girl. They're gonna go get some live sound out in the nature.
Yes,
and Owen Wilson's been hitting on her like the whole time, and like I
get the feeling they're together.
It's really because it seems like she didn't like him, but maybe that was the thing. And
no, I thought the impression I got was just that he was oversexed, and she was just like, "All right, calm it down. We're working."
Maybe. So this is the part. My friend back in the day, in probably like 97, 98, when this was on VHS, sent me home with this, and he's like, "Dude, if you go to this part, you can see her bra," because I'm 10. I was looking for the part because I remember that because that's the only part of the movie I've ever seen.
Right around that time, she was in a movie called I can't remember what it was, but I'm pretty sure Stanley Tucci's in it, and she gets full on naked in that one, if I'm remembering correctly.
So her and Owen Wilson go and they air quotes get sound, but they just
they're just trying to get some.
And I wrote down they're being stalked by more than trouser snakes.
That's the dumbest joke you've ever made on this podcast, and I fully approve.
It's not a snake at all, actually. It turns out it's a boar. John Voight kind of comes after they're running from this thing that we don't see. It's an Evil Dead view.
That shot of John Voight is... Evil Dead is the perfect description because that's some straight Sam Raimi. Like, there's like a snap zoom in on him as he points at them ostensibly. Like, it looks like he points at them and fires... And then he's dragging a corpse back, but it's the corpse of the boar.
Yeah, everybody hears the fucking gunshot, and they're like, oh, fuck, what the fuck just happened? And then you see her come around the corner, and then Owen Wilson, and then Cerrone's like dragging this boar.
You just see Cerrone, and he's dragging
that's
something.
Right, he comes first.
Because, again, it looked like he had shot them.
And then they come around the corner, and everybody's like, okay, it's cool now.
And he's like, goes with the tusks.
Yeah. Dinner.
His fucking accent. That fucking accent.
Food for 3 days.
I can't even do
I
the
can't
accent.
do it. I'm going to just insert fucking clips of Razor Ramon talking.
Say hello to Razor Ramon. Check my ride, man. He's a Cadillac, man. Custom made for Razor.
Can't believe you don't
So
fucking
bad.
remember Razor Ramon, man.
No.
Him and Shawn Michaels
The
had
name does sound familiar, but it's not conjuring anything in my
They
head.
had this fucking great ladder match at WrestleMania one year. It was like the first real big ladder match.
Dude, the only reason I even know
really.
about Hell in a Cell is because of fucking Beyond the Mat. I didn't actually watch much wrestling.
That's
Oh,
Razor
okay.
Ramon.
Yeah, I remember him. I mean, I remember his face.
Him and the Super Shredder, they defected to WCW as the Outsiders because
The Super Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze?
Yeah, it's Kevin Nash.
Really?
Yeah.
That was Kevin Nash.
I've told you this so many times.
That's right. You did tell me it was Kevin Nash. Oh, I keep forgetting.
Yeah, and they go
Odin from
exactly
Almighty Thor, for those who are interested.
They're supposed to be like still contracted with WWF. It was a whole thing.
Okay, so that's back in the WWF days.
Oh yeah, it was 1996, 97 when they did that.
Okay.
That was like right before right after Hogan came in, and WCW was really starting to pick up steam, and Eric Bischoff wanted to really fucking take down WWF because that was his whole motivation.
Okay.
Which is why WCW went under, which we talked about this in the Ready to Rumble
episode. Yeah, I had a feeling.
The rope gets caught in the propeller, so someone has to go and cut it loose. And this is where Eric Stoltz goes, I'll do it. It's fine. The only thing I'm worried about is the Kandiru Aku. And everybody's like, what the fuck is that? He's like, these little shrimpy guys that fucking crawl up your urethra.
Yeah. Don't pee in the Amazon River.
That is what I hear. I've heard that in several movies, and I'm just going to believe them.
Yep. I don't want anything to do with that shit.
And hearing The Rock refer to his dick as a peentu is pretty funny in the rundown.
Oh, that was mentioned in the rundown too?
Yeah.
I knew I'd heard it somewhere else as well. I didn't know it was in the rundown, but yeah, okay.
And I'm pretty sure it's also, I listened to too many podcasts today about shitty movies, so I don't know if somebody from this movie worked on that Tom Berenger sniper movie, but it's also in one of those.
Okay.
Because they sleep in the water, and he's like, don't pee. He's like, why not? Like, because there's a thing it'll crawl up your piss stream and fucking go into your urethra.
Somebody loved that fact, apparently.
You know what? I'm just going to stay out of the water. So, obviously, Kale, Eric Stoltz, goes down, and he's trying to cut the rope off the thing, and then he, has the ventilator on or whatever the fuck it is, and then he inhales and starts freaking out because he fucking swallowed a wasp, and this wasp is like bigger than my fist. It's fucking gross.
It's a giant fucking wasp. It really is big.
And then they have to do the most disgusting thing ever and fucking stab a hole in his trachea so he can breathe. Ugh.
And see, and like this is, I don't know. All right, I guess like at this point his motivation is to get them to go the direction he wants.
Yes.
But
and that's it. Yeah.
This just seems like way too much work for what is his payoff? His whole thing
He's trying to capture a snake alive.
Exactly. He wanted to capture the snake alive. They already had the boat. They already had two guys. What did they need the fucking camera crew for? That could only complicate things excessively.
Also, there's all this really funny shit about him, like not like him trying to be a priest years ago or some shit.
Yeah.
And then one guy's like, "So you're a failed priest?" He's like, "Who said I failed?"
Who said I failed?
And then he constantly like half-asses his way through all these prayers and shit, which is so funny to me. I don't know why that was probably the most entertaining bit he kept doing because it kept coming back.
Oh yeah, no, he keeps doing it the whole movie.
Every time somebody dies, he's like, oh man, it was so good.
And then he's talking about how he's killing people, like never look in the eyes of the
Those
person you kill.
Yeah.
It will haunt you forever.
Keep
in mind, this is Angelina Jolie's dad doing this.
Yeah, that's a weird thing also. My next note is, of course, Jesus Christ, every other shot of Voight is ominous, not a lot of subtlety here.
And they all have the music cues and everything. It's so over the top.
Eventually, they do come to this wall, and everybody's like looking at Cerrone going like, because they're now going in the direction that he initially wanted them to go in. And he was talking about how well he knew the river because he's like, oh, if you go up this way, I know these people, they something, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's this fucking wall, and everybody's like, dude, what the fuck is the deal with the wall? I thought you knew shit. He's like, yeah, I haven't been up here in a few months.
Yeah, he's like,
okay.
Wasn't here last time. It's okay. I got dynamite.
I got dynamite. Give me 10 minutes. And Jennifer Lopez is trying to not be a fucking asshole. She's like, well, do we really want to mess with this stuff? Let's go back. And he's like, you lose 2 days and he dies or whatever. They're going to blow up the fucking
Which, by the way, he's fine in the end. He recovers just fine.
Yeah.
They never get him to the doctor. He just recovers.
John Voight and Owen Wilson, they go into the water to plant the dynamite. Owen Wilson is being stalked by something. We don't see what it is. We know what it is, but we don't see what it is. And the whole time, you're watching and going like, his dick's gonna get bitten off right now. If Roger Corman directed this, if this was Piranha, his dick would be gone. And
you mean if John Gulager directed it?
Oh, did
John Gulager directed the Piranha remakes.
Roger Corman just produced it because that's what he does. I'm down.
Well, not the original Piranha. I'm talking about the remakes.
Oh, what's a remake? Piranha 2 Double D?
No, it was Piranha 3 Double D.
Oh yeah, Piranha 3 Double D. Sorry. Owen Wilson gets back on the boat and he's like, dude, something was watching me. I feel like something was watching me. And he's like, that's because there was. I'm like, thanks.
He's like, there's something in the water.
There
Yeah,
is.
there is.
That's not creepy at all.
I'm not kidding. Neither am I.
And then they blow it up. Boom! A bunch of trouser snakes.
They're fucking everywhere.
Like,
it's 1,000 of them.
Yeah, they filled the wall with them, apparently. Or they either filled the wall with them or they made their way into the wall or something.
Maybe I think the idea is like not just the wall, but also the trees.
Yeah.
Above them and stuff like that. So apparently this place is just literally crawling with snakes.
One of the snakes bites the British guy. And I thought he was going to die because I thought it was venomous for a second because of the way Cerrone is like, so, what does he say? So deadly.
Small.
So deadly.
So deadly.
And he's just like staring at this guy's finger with the snake on it. Then he pulls it off of him. Go back to your mother. Get the fuck out of here. You're so fucking weird. And then they come across the boat.
That puppet was actually really good.
Yeah,
that looked really good.
I love the animatronics.
Yeah.
Like, even a shitty animatronic, again, it just does it for me. I don't care about shitty CGI. Who cares? But the animatronic, actually, the snakes look pretty good.
Yeah.
So they come across this boat. Later, there's a note in my notes that says, I've never heard the term could be fuel so many times in a fucking movie before. I'm sure it'll happen.
They're looking
again.
for fuel.
They are looking for fuel because when they blew it up, I think is that when they blew it up and the fucking the fuel drums kind of got all weird.
Shit, I can't remember. I can't remember exactly what happened, but
they blow the walls and they end up losing a
when,
bunch of their
is that
fuel
when they
barrels.
lost the fuel? Yeah. Like they managed to maintain control over one barrel.
They have one barrel and they can go 200 kilometers.
No,
whatever the
100
fuck that
kilometers.
means. 100. Mateo, by the way, is the captain of the boat and his buddy.
Yeah. Well, we don't know that yet.
We don't know that yet, but we will.
But yeah, they're totally in it together.
Because we're going to figure out in a second because those two take Ice Cube with them. His name is like Billy or something. To go investigate the boat or the boat house or whatever the fuck it is.
Speaking of which, when we first meet Ice Cube, it's like first thing in the morning. And he's like, "It's a good day."
Oh yeah,
that's his opening.
Today's
line.
a good day. So Ice Cube ends up in this like boathouse or boat or whatever the fuck it is.
It's a boat.
Is this the boat? Then he sees the newspaper clipping of the three of them together.
No. Voight sees it, grabs it off the wall,
does he?
folds it up.
Oh no! There's just a newspaper clipping. Mateo Cerrone and the guy from the beginning.
But we see it.
Holding a giant snake. Okay, so Mateo falls in the water, attracts the anaconda, and he gets all twisted up by the thing, and he fucking doesn't make it.
Voight is just like immediately like, man, he's dead. Fuck him.
Yep, he's like, yeah, does the cross thing, and it's cool, whatever.
His recurring last rites over the water.
But, Ice Cube is a cool dude, so he tries to go back and save Mateo, but they can't find him, so Cerrone's just like, fuck it, we're done, it's cool. Ashes to ashes.
He's
and shit,
such a dick.
later.
They're like, aren't you going to go looking for him? He's like, yeah, maybe some other time.
Yeah, maybe some other time. Like, when's another time? and then this part's actually, it could be scary if it was in a less dumb movie.
See, even you agree.
When I did say it wasn't dumb. Cerrone like unfurls that fucking snake skin.
Yeah, because they're all like, we gotta wait for him, and he's like, all right, this is what's out there.
This got him, so we're just gonna go. And then he's like, oh, and this was like however long ago. And it's like whatever shed this is way bigger now.
He's so pleased with himself this whole movie. Like every time, like in the morning when they're like, he's like, still no Mateo. He's so pleased with himself.
With that fucking scowl. Oh my god.
Yeah, he's like got that hard frown, but he's still smiling with his eyes,
It's really funny to see Owen Wilson all serious and intense, even though I know we've seen it before, but it's just kind of funny. In 2024, knowing Owen Wilson, even though he's been in serious shit and he's a good fucking actor, like he can handle serious stuff.
Yeah.
It's just I see him in The Wedding Crashers and Zoolander and shit.
Yeah. Hansel. So hot
even
right
Meet
now.
the Parents. God, I fucking hate Meet the Parents. Meet
he's
the
in
Parents.
Meet the Parents, yeah.
I couldn't remember which one was first because there's so many of those shitty movies.
Yeah, it's Meet the Parents.
Meet the Parents, Meet the Fockers, Meet the fucking...
No, then Little Fockers.
I think Little...
That's the third one, Little Fockers.
Little Fockers, yeah. Is there another one?
No, I think it's just the three. It's a perfect trilogy.
Even Ben Stiller can be serious, and I think he's better when he is. No, I really like him as the attendant guy in fucking Happy Gilmore. I always tell the girls that. I'm like, it's time for bed. I'm like, you will go to sleep, or I will put you to sleep.
You're in my house now, Grandma.
They don't think it's funny. And I'm just over here like, no, it's funny. It's funny. All right, so the hot girl goes to bed, leaving Gary. Gary is Owen Wilson's character's name, and there he's going to talk to Cerrone about capturing the snake and how much money that might be worth, and it could be worth like $1 million. And this is where fucking Cerrone shoots the monkey to use his bait. It's so sad. I don't like it. Use Gary. Fuck Gary. Gary is willing to sell everybody out for money. So
Gary doesn't think anybody's got to die.
No, he doesn't. He's just trying to salvage the fucking thing.
He just wants to get paid for all this bullshit. I can relate.
And then, Cerrone has now kind of taken over. He's the boss. He's the captain now. Yeah.
Indeed.
The snake ends up taking the bait. We finally get like this big animatronic snake, and it looks really cool.
The fishing scene. That's actually a pretty good scene.
Yeah.
We get some shitty CGI, but there's a lot of animatronics, which the big snake looks not great in the animatronics, but they clearly put a lot of work into it. It's not terrible. Better than the snake in Conan.
Conan's a better movie, though.
Conan is a better movie by a lot, but it is better than the snake in Conan. The problem is snakes are so smooth with the way they move. It's impossible to get an animatronic to move that smooth in the era before like AI and like gyroscopes and stuff like that. And nowadays, they could probably do a really killer animatronic snake.
But the CGI snake, you wouldn't even be able to tell the difference these days.
Nowadays, you wouldn't. At that time, the animatronics couldn't do it, and the CGI couldn't do it.
And that I think is the main issue with the CGI, right? Is that they keep on trying to make it interact with people.
Yeah.
That is the issue. That's where it really, like, when it's by itself, it's like, yeah, it kind of looks shitty, but
it
starts,
suffers from that weightless thing.
Yeah.
Where everything in CGI in the old days, I don't know. I don't know if the young people realize this.
It took them so long to fucking figure that out.
Yeah, in the old days, CGI, everything looked like it was made of Jell-O.
Like, as great as Spider-Man is, it still didn't work in there either.
Yep.
I think Spider-Man 2 got it.
You know what the first movie that got it was for me? The first movie that really did it right was Final Fantasy: The Spirits Within. They actually, because that's an all CGI movie, and they did CGI that looked like it had weight. It was the first time I genuinely believed that it had some weight to it. And then, of course, Weta came along, and they really mastered it.
Could you have picked a less boring movie, though?
It's such a bullshit movie. It really is terrible. But the CGI was a huge step forward in that movie. And then Lord of the Rings, Weta's work in Lord of the Rings just completely changed the game.
And those are movies that I overlook because I've only seen them all once.
Yeah, but I'm telling you that those were the two watershed moments for real massive forward progress from the everything looks like Jell-O to what we have nowadays. I mean, that Jabba the Hutt in the Star Wars Special Edition, oh, that looked like such dog shit.
And again, it's because it's so close to fucking actual things, so it's gonna look even weirder.
Yeah, it looked terrible. But then, Final Fantasy Spirits Within was very first time it looked solid.
But if you put a person in that, it would have looked like garbage again.
Probably. But the thing is like, it wasn't the faces. The faces in Spirits Within didn't look that good. It was the bodies, the like the clothing and stuff. They had these big suits of armor and shit, and that looked really fucking good. And it was the first time. And then what Lord of the Rings did right is it did creatures right. The creatures looked really good in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, they're just like, hey, guy who made the Frighteners and Meet the Feebles, you want hundreds of millions of dollars to fucking make this epic fantasy trilogy that's going to be one of the biggest things in the world?
Blows my fucking mind that they picked Peter Jackson.
The snake, they try to blind it. Shit happens. It does pop up out of the water. The snake ends up popping up out of the water and spitting the dead monkey like right out at Westridge. That's the British guy's name. Right in his face. And I'm laughing.
Do snakes actually do that?
No.
I don't think that's real.
No, that doesn't make any fucking sense. And you know what? I don't care, because it's a fucking movie. You people who take this shit way too seriously. The snake jumps on the boat, goes right after J-Lo because she's back. I don't know. She's been in the whole movie, but she hasn't done anything, so everybody else is way more interesting.
Yeah. I gotta say, she is easily the most boring. Well, her and Owen Wilson are pretty much the two most boring. But at least Owen Wilson is like interested in the money, and so he's like subverting the expectation for the crew.
He dies in this scene that we're talking about, anyways, and it's fucking gross. He gets taken into the water. He gets crushed, and ooh.
I will say the scene of him rolling up out of the water, that was really effective.
that was some good stuff.
Yeah,
and
that
then
was well done.
the bad CGI continues with that shot underwater of the snake having eaten Gary.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so cheesy.
And I love it. Oh god.
It's so cheesy.
Like, my only complaint was it would have been way scarier if it was like real, or if it was like today.
Oh yeah,
CGI.
For sure. No, nowadays it would be an effective horror movie.
Oh my god.
I actually would not mind seeing a remake of this.
No. And his girlfriend is fucking screaming, and I actually felt bad for her because I'm like, oh, I feel that. That's actually.
No, she's actually doing a pretty good job in this. She's actually bringing a performance to it.
And now this is kind of where everybody's like, okay, this guy's going to get us all killed if we don't fucking do something.
And then he's like, all right, mask off.
Oh, and he's also like, he tells Westridge, take my stuff up to the captain's chamber or whatever. Oh no, he tells Ice Cube that.
No, he tells.
Does he tell Westridge?
Yeah, and he's like, I'm not your fucking bellhop.
No, that's right.
And then he's like, how about I cave in your skull, or something like that? You know, he caves immediately.
Yeah, he's kind of a bitch,
despite his preening in front of Ice Cube earlier, which we didn't really go over, but that's okay. We don't.
Yeah, no, they have a contentious relationship for a minute, and I'm not really sure why. I think it's because Ice Cube's black.
It's because Ice Cube's listening to some.
Oh, he's listening to,
and he's blasting it. He's listening to Ice Cube. I'm pretty sure.
No, I looked it up. It's not Ice Cube.
Oh,
I had to find out because it kind of sounded like
it. It did sound like Ice Cube.
I can't remember who it was, but I'm like, oh, that'd be funny if he was actually listening to it.
Just bopping his own.
And he's like, he should have said, "This is my demo. I'm gonna send it into the labels after we get home." Anyways, J-Lo. So we're in the captain's chambers now. J-Lo.
Do we have to?
Yeah, because she hasn't done anything. She's finally starting to be a little proactive. She's actually done a lot. Just none of it matters.
Yeah, I mean, she's doing stuff. She's there. She's carrying out actions, but she's not affecting the plot, really.
No, like, none of my notes have her in them until right now.
This is the first time she's actually affecting the plot.
Yeah. She goes up into the captain's chambers to talk to Cerrone, and she's like, tell me about the legend. And then she starts, doing the sexy girl thing. Like, I think if you're a big, strong man, you could probably, like, protect me from the big anaconda. Can I see the anaconda in your pants? And he's like, my anaconda don't want none.
No, he kisses her, but he knows exactly what's going on.
Except it's in the song it says, my anaconda don't want none unless you got buns, hun, and that's kind of her whole thing.
It is. If anybody got buns, hun, it's definitely at that time.
Yeah,
for sure. That was before Beyonce really took off.
And then Ice Cube's like right behind him, and he sees him in a mirror. Cerrone sees him in a mirror.
Yeah,
and he's like, oh yeah, you think I'm fucking stupid? But then yeah, we do, because there's a third person, numbnuts. Westridge comes and hits him with a fucking golf club
right in the back of the head through the window, so you know that there's broken glass embedded in that.
Oh yeah, good. Fuck this guy.
Yeah. So that's got to sting though, or at least it will when he wakes up.
I don't think it matters. He's already crazy. I don't even think he can feel it at this point. So he's tied up, and J-Lo then finds the newspaper and goes, "What the fuck is this? You've been playing us the whole time." He's like, "Yeah, so."
There's no shame in this dude's game.
No, he is after the money. Just pure and simple at this point.
He could not give less of a fuck about what these people think of him.
And then this is where Westbridge and Cube kind of they bond over like driving the boat and stuff.
Also because someone has to learn to drive the boat, because Westridge is going to die here pretty soon.
Also, you can tell it's 1997 because Ice Cube refers to his cell phone as a cellular phone. They come to this fucking waterfall, and it's a magical moment. It's this giant waterfall. And Cerrone's like, oh, yeah, baby, that's the fucking waterfall.
Because they were talking about the legend of the people, and the waterfall was part of the legend.
There's a waterfall and like a giant wall that is actually like a huge snake statue.
Yes, if you follow the wall all the way down to the end, it's the head of a giant snake.
And then they run aground, obviously, so they're stuck and shit. And then Cube comes up with a plan. He's like, we're going to winch our way out. You gotta go to this tree. We'll go to this tree.
So it's like, let's jump in the water time, so we know exactly where this is going.
Yeah, and the hot girl stays on the boat with Cerrone, and they should have taken her with them, because she is very emotional right now, because this guy is directly responsible for her boyfriend getting killed.
I understand where she's coming from, and I understand where they were probably coming from, leaving her on the boat, like, she's a wreck. Just let her have her rest, but
yeah, but
she's
a wreck.
She makes a bad decision.
She's going to fucking try to kill this guy, and it's not going to work because he Sonya Blades her to death. And this is where he does, don't look into the eyes of the people you kill. I know.
It will haunt you.
So he wraps his legs around her neck, fucking kills her, kicks her off into the water. Everybody hears a splash, and then they just kind of turn around and go, maybe we should hurry.
They hear the splash, but they don't see anything because her body's already underwater, and he's sitting there like nothing's happened.
And then he uses the knife that she was going to use to stab him to cut himself free. The Anaconda smells the bait, I guess. The bait, which is her. And Bugs Bunny's his way to where everyone is. So that is him. That is the Anaconda, right? Under the ground, fucking making it go all weird like that.
It's not ground. It was like water weeds, like
was
it was
it?
Like grasses and stuff.
It looked like a hill
growing up out of the
That's
water.
why I'm like, Bugs Bunny? Like, where the fuck is this thing doing? Is this Tremors now?
No, those were water plants, and he was swimming through them.
Okay, that sounds fair.
The Anaconda's just swimming through dirt. Like Chuck Norris.
It's a different movie. We had that movie 7 years ago.
You've heard that Chuck Norris joke, right?
Oh, no.
Jesus can walk on water, but Chuck Norris can swim through earth.
If Chuck Norris wasn't such a douchebag, I'd be like, he's better than Jesus. So Westbridge, then, he tries to outrun the snake while Cerrone gets free and then stabs Danny in the leg. Danny is Ice Cube, by the way. His name is Danny, yes. Westbridge takes one for the team. He gets taken by the snake. Then a tree falls on the fucking boat. Now everyone's really fucked, except for not, because the boat fucking works later.
Westridge's death is so much better than that deserves.
Oh, dude, yeah.
Deserves better than what you gave him, I should say. Because he's climbed the waterfall. He's behind the waterfall hiding, and the snake comes through the waterfall. He jumps out to try and leap into the water to safety. The snake follows him down like 20 feet, grabs him by the head, and then coils him up as it pulls him up like a fucking yo-yo.
Kale wakes up like he just remembered he's part of the fucking movie. and he shows
Eric
up.
Stoltz is magically available today.
Yeah, he shows up, stabs Cerrone in the back with a fucking tranquilizer dart, I think. And this is happening while Danny narrowly avoids getting taken by the snake because J-Lo shoots it in the face a few times, and she kills it. So that's the Anaconda's dead. I guess the movie's over.
The Anaconda is dead.
Before he gets stabbed, John Voight is pissed because that's his fucking money. But Stoltz saves her at the last minute by stabbing him with a tranq dart. He falls in the water and the dart falls out. So I guess that means it's not going to work for very long. Some shit. And then fucking Kale passes out again.
And they carry him back to his room, and the tree knocked the boat loose, so they can move again.
That is what happened, huh? I'm like, wait, the tree fell on the fucking boat, so it's really fucked now. But nope, they're free. Yep.
Anybody want to guess what happens next? Because you're right.
Might be fuel.
Yeah. John Voight returns, and so does the fucking Anaconda.
Oh yeah.
Not our original Anaconda. This is a new, fresh Anaconda.
Yeah, they make it to another, like, this is the boathouse, not the boat. This is like an actual stationary object on the water.
Yes.
Where might be fuel.
This is a sawmill.
Oh, okay, sawmill.
Yeah.
This is where I said I don't think I've ever heard that phrase "could be fuel" so many times in a single movie before. J-Lo finds a big ass snake skin, so you know some shit's gonna maybe go down here, and of course, fucking Cerrone pops up and knocks them out, ties them both up. This is where they're in that giant room full of the dead monkeys and the blood that he's collecting. So, oh my god, so many dead monkeys.
I mean, that had to be a lot to fill that.
Oh god,
to fill that big pitcher full, because that thing was like, it wasn't quite 5-gallon bucket size, but it was close.
And he takes the bucket, he fucking pours the blood all over them, mostly her because t-shirt and boobs and stuff.
Mm-hmm. We're trying to appeal to teenagers here.
Worked. Actually,
Indeed.
no, it didn't. Didn't for me because I didn't watch this far into the movie. I fast forwarded it to the part with the hot chick and Owen Wilson, and then I gave up. And then, here comes the snake. Of course, the two actually, like J-Lo and Danny, they're like tied up together, like back to back,
Mhm.
but they're not in like a chair or anything. So they
No, they're just on the ground.
They're able to stand up and kind of run with each other. They try to get away. Cerrone pulls them, and he traps them when the snake comes.
He's got this net on the floor
Yeah.
that they're sitting at the center of, and the snake comes in and he pulls up on this winch, raises the net. Now the snake's trapped, and the snake is pissed.
Yeah, and it doesn't work very well because I don't think Cerrone planned very well because this bitch finally gets caught by the snake. With the help of Danny.
Yeah, Cerrone ties the line off on this old rusty pipe handle.
Yeah, just the fucking handle, like not the pipe
idiot.
Itself. Not like something that's
how
not
this
break.
guy has survived this long is beyond me.
That's a very good question because he had his two friends with him.
Yeah, maybe that might be it. Yeah, Danny Trejo and Mateo are saving his ass. But yeah, so of course the shit breaks loose because this 2,000-pound snake is thrashing inside of it,
Yeah.
And then the snake is like, "Okay, motherfucker, you wanted to play."
And then Cerrone like tries to run away, but then Danny like picks up the net somehow, like he winches it up.
Yeah,
something.
he grabs the rope end and pulls up on it, and it raises the net in front of him, and so yeah, the
and
snake.
then Cerrone gets caught, and this
Gets
is
a
the
bite
coolest
of him.
fucking shot. You know the shot, right?
Oh yeah.
The
down the throat shot, or rather up the throat shot.
This is one of those things where there had to have been more in there of this happening, but the studio's like,
oh yeah, no, this one got cut down.
That's
for a PG-13.
Yeah.
For sure.
That's too gross for your PG-13.
It's
rating.
a good shot. It's one of the best shots of the movie. Yeah, we're looking up from inside the snake's gut
It's so
at John
gross.
Voight as he gets swallowed. Fantastic shot.
The whole family's like, because it is. It's super fucking gross.
It's grody as hell, and I love it.
And now the snake has to turn his attention to, I guess, the actual main character.
Technically.
But something else gross happens right before he does. He spits out just a fucking dissolved, gross, puffy looking Cerrone right in Jennifer Lopez's face. And then
he looks up with his one good eye
and he winks.
And winks at her.
And the theory in Overhated, the podcast that I was listening to about Anaconda today, that dude's like, they had to have done that on purpose. Like, they know they're making this dumb fucking movie.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
Like, they had John Voight wink to the camera on purpose.
Yes, 100%.
And it's delightful.
Or Voight was like, I'm going to do something.
Could go either way, and I haven't looked at the trivia or anything.
Whether it's the filmmaker's idea or Voight's idea is definitely intentional, and it's ridiculous, and I love it.
And then we have like a typical monster chasing people sequence and shit.
This is a pretty good chase sequence.
I do appreciate that she's not like a helpless lady in danger type
Yeah,
character.
she's not a damsel in distress or
because
anything.
Danny, he's like, I'm gonna go up here and I'm gonna do this thing, and he's been stabbed in the leg, of course, and she's like, no, you're not, because you're a fucking gimp, and you're just gonna fuck it up because your leg is broken. And
That's not exactly how she phrases it, but that's the gist of
but
it.
then he's cool enough to be like, yeah, you're right, go ahead. Like he doesn't fucking question her at all. He comes up with the idea and he's like, I'm gonna do this thing. She's like, you can't do it, your legs hurt, so I'm gonna do it. And he's like, awesome.
Yeah, there's this big smokestack that has a ladder going up it, and his plan was to climb up that, lure the snake up, and then set it on fire.
They blow up this fucking smokestack that J-Lo has climbed up, and she's trying to get out, and she eventually
fucking
kinda
epic.
does.
And
a pretty good one.
Cube traps the snake, prevents it from getting her by driving a pickaxe through
right
its tail
Ah.
and pinning it to the floor while the snake is trying to get her up the smokestack.
Yep, just enough time for him to set this fucking gas on fire. And she's stuck. She gets out at the very last second. This thing fucking blows up, and she
just gets hurled into the water.
Danny is like, you gotta jump, dude, and she's like, no, it's too high. He's like, hurry the fuck up, because the snake is coming and the fire's coming,
and then
it's all coming, and then it blows up. She falls in the water, and then you hear this. And this flaming snake is flying out of the smokestack, and I'm laughing my ass off at this point because this is fucking great.
And the snake keeps not going into the water because the flames will go out. So we got to have the snake just writhe around, flaming in the air for a while.
And it does the one final scare thing, and
Yeah.
like it finally like dies, we think, from the fire, but then they're on this boat dock or whatever, and they're like, okay, we're fine, everything's cool, and then it fucking breaks its damn head through the fucking boat dock. And does she take the pickaxe? Is the axe, and she fucking...
No, it's Ice Cube. He grabs
that's right,
splitting maul and just right in the top of the head.
Yep, and Cube hacks him up, calls him he's like, bitch, in his Ice Cube sort of way. At this point, I forgot Kale wasn't dead.
So then we're back in the boat, and there he is, and
so he shows
okay.
up, and he's fine. She's like, oh, he's breathing again, yay. And he's just like, oh, yeah, I had this weird dream where I had a huge penis, and it was on fire.
He doesn't say that.
But no, he's
For
like...
the listener, that's Andrew's being funny.
At this point...
He thinks he is.
Thank you. Hey! At this point, he's wide awake and doing just fine, and they see these tribes people in the water, and he's just like, Cerrone was right. No, I don't like that. That is, if there's one part of the movie that I legitimately don't like, it's that the bad guy was right the whole time.
He was giving them good directions if they'd only listened.
I fucking hate that. That is the only part that I actively dislike.
It's so dumb. It's so dumb. Why would that matter at all? Why? No, not to you. I understand why you're pissed off by it. To the filmmakers, why would they include that? It's so stupid.
And then it's credits, and then I'm still mad because people take this shit way too seriously.
This movie's an absolute hoot. If you have a chance, by all means, watch it.
It's not the shit show that everybody's been telling you it was for the past almost 30 years now.
No, it's
like,
really stupid fun.
Yeah, it's dumb, but it's okay.
But it's really fun too. It's really stupid. It's really fun.
Get to see J-Lo before anybody gave a shit. You get to see Ice Cube.
No, this is post Selena. Okay, she was huge in Selena.
True. You get to see Ice Cube. Well, he's trying to make a name for himself, but I don't think anybody knows if they should care or not yet. Even though he's made Boys in the Hood.
I mean,
and Friday.
Ice Cube is a recognizable commodity at this point, but he's in a B movie because he's not quite respected as an actor yet.
Yeah, he hasn't made Three Kings yet.
Yeah.
He hasn't made the movie with George Clooney. Fucking Anaconda. Any final thoughts besides what you just said?
My Anaconda does want some.
Yeah.
Because J-Lo's got buns, hun. This is a really fucking fun movie. If you can't enjoy this, I genuinely pity you.
Yeah, you got 99 problems, and I feel bad for you, son. That's Jay-Z, I know. But still, is Jay-Z right? Or is it
yes, it's Jay-Z.
Okay. I don't know if we've had this conversation before, but white kid, Great Falls, Montana, never listened to rap until I watched Straight Outta Compton when it came out.
Wow,
so,
that long, huh?
Yeah.
Wow. All right.
So the fact that I know as much as I do about it is kind of a miracle.
No Eminem?
A little. I was too busy being made fun of for...
No Kid Rock?
Yeah, I didn't want to... I'm not admitting that, though. I had the edited Devil Without a Cause by Kid Rock.
Every kid had the edited Devil Without a Cause.
And the edited Marshall Mathers LP.
Okay, that's kind of a waste.
Yes. Well, so one good album and one shitty album.
Marshall Mathers, that's a good album, though.
That is the good album. Kid Rock is a piece of shit. And Eminem, I don't really know. He keeps his personal life kind of under wraps, so I don't know if he's a piece of shit or not. Anyways, yeah, fucking Anaconda. This is a fun, stupid movie. It goes right along. It's one of those. It's a good drive-in double feature with a movie like Jurassic Park. You watch Jurassic Park first, and then this is the shitty one they show afterwards.
Yeah, this is the B movie.
A $40 million B movie.
Which it is. That's exactly what it is.
It really is.
It's a $40 million B movie.
It's exactly what you think it is. It's exactly what you want. Do not listen to the people that are like, this movie sucks, because it doesn't. It's fun.
It's not exactly what I want. I would, like, if I got my wish list, right? Like, J-Lo would actually contribute to the story somehow. And she'd have a better written character.
There are two direct sequels.
I literally, the week you first suggested we watch this, I had just 2 days before bought a copy of Anaconda's Search for the Blood Orchid or whatever.
I remember when it came out and I was kind of like, wait, what?
So now I got to watch that, of course. And then I've had a copy of Lake Placid versus Anaconda for a long time.
I've never seen Lake Placid, but Betty White's in it, so I'm there.
Or Anaconda versus Lake Placid. I can't remember
whichever. It doesn't really matter.
Lake Placid is a delightful B movie. It's just like this. It's stupid. It's got more of a sense of humor than this.
It seems a little dumber.
It's a little more tongue in cheek than this. A little more post Scream than this is.
This movie does try to take itself awful seriously.
Yeah,
sometimes.
This movie really tries to play it straight and just fails delightfully. Lake Placid is more sarcastic and kind of. There's a lot of winking at the audience in Lake Placid. But Lake Placid is the exact same kind of fun.
If nothing else, I would like a supercut on YouTube of every Jon Voight scene from Anaconda.
Oh my God! Yes, Jon Voight is the reason to show up for this movie. Jon Voight is so goddamn hammy in this film. It's so God,
it's this weird anomaly of a movie. I don't know. It's just I'm so fucking glad that movies like this exist.
Yes,
it makes me happy.
Absolutely.
Have some fucking fun. Watch it. Laugh at it.
Treat yourself.
And just have some goddamn fun. It's not real. I know snakes don't actually do that. They don't scream because they don't have fucking vocal cords. I understand. Okay? Get over it. And those are the same people that watch Marvel movies and think they're the greatest things in the fucking world.
Yeah, no.
Because that could totally happen.
This is a very fun movie. Go watch it.
We should probably be done now. So yeah, that was Anaconda. Watch this fucking movie. Just don't be a dick. You can follow us on social media and stuff if you really wanna.
Yes, you can.
On everything at the Shark Pod.
You can also follow me at Samuel Mantz. That's MANTSZ.
Really quick, patreon.com/SharksAcrossHollywood. You can come listen to us talk about extra stuff, kung fu movies and asylum movies and shit.
Yes.
Nobody really gives a shit. Just go there and fucking look at it. And if you want to listen to that shit, then give us $1.
Definitely do.
Do you have anything to plug?
Well, I'm just doing the open mic circuit right now. I've been doing it since the beginning of the year. My New Year resolution is to do at least 52 open mics this year, and I'm well on my way to hitting my goal. So I've been going to open mics. I'm going to several a week. Mondays there's an open mic at the Goody Bar, which is right next to the Deja Vu, same building.
The Deja Vu is a strip club for anybody that doesn't know.
In Spokane. This is in Spokane because there's Deja Vu in fucking every city. And then Tuesdays and Wednesdays I go to the Spokane Comedy Club downtown. Thursdays I'm in Post Falls at the Draft Zone. That's a particularly good show just because I always get on at that show, and it's got a pretty good crowd too. A good crowd makes it a lot more fun. So if more people would come out to these, they're always more fun with more people. And then on Fridays, every other Friday, there's an open mic at the Grain Shed, also in downtown Spokane. I think it's more on the west end of downtown Spokane. The Grain Shed. Every other Friday, and that's what I'm doing every week. I'm at least one or two of those. I don't always hit every single one, and not all of them are every week, but I'm trying to hit as many as I can. So I need the stage time. I need the practice. If you want to heckle me, I'd recommend coming to either the Grain Shed or the Goody Bar, because heckling is pretty frowned upon at the other places. Like, they'll kick you out. And what is Not For Nothing up to?
And then there's me. I'm in a band called Not For Nothing, and we're going to have our album release show, and I can't remember the date because I'm a fucking asshole.
Oh, my God. Seriously?
Yep. I don't remember the date, but you know who does remember the date? Our social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Not For Nothing Music on both of those fucking things. So if you go there, that'll tell you exactly when all of our shows are and our album release date. And you can go to Spotify and listen to the shit we already have up. It's fucking great.
There's more of it than you'd think.
And while you're there, you can listen to Not For Nothing, and you can fucking also listen to Sharks Across Hollywood.
Yes, you can. That's a good pairing right there. If you've listened to any of the episodes where we're talking about music, I don't think Andrew's taste in music will come as much of a surprise. Anyway, go give him a listen. What was it again? At Not For Nothing Music?
Not For Nothing Music.
Not For Nothing Music. Okay.
Go do that. And also follow us on the Shark Pod.
Definitely.
At the Shark Pod.
You can do
on everything.
You can do all three of them at the same time.
All of those things.
Just boom, boom, boom.
And then come back in a couple weeks when we talk about some other movie. And eventually we're gonna have the Patreon back up and running with stuff again. We still have like 800 hours of fucking stuff on there. I'm lying. That's false advertising. Don't sue me. We'll get back into it eventually, but it doesn't matter.
You should
Anyways,
also give me a back massage, because I could use one.
that sounds like sexual harassment.
No, not if they want to and I'm inviting it, explicitly inviting it, not, like, what is he wearing? No, I mean,
I don't care. Well, yeah, you wouldn't dress like that if you didn't want to get fingered.
No, I'm telling you, if you want to give me a back massage, you can, unless you're really shitty at it, like use a lot of knuckles in the wrong places.
Like your butthole?
No, that's the right place for a knuckle. Yeah.
2-knuckler or a 3-knuckler?
Oh, 3. Go deep or go home, am I right?
You have 3 knuckles. That's an entire discussion on Letterkenny. Anyways, okay, we're just rambling at this point. We'll be back in a couple weeks with another movie. Who the fuck knows what it's going to be? I kind of know what it might be, but I'm not going to tell you just in case. Just in case shit goes down. You know what I mean?
You better be ready.
Yeah.
It's a Cypress Hill line.
Oh, okay. What's a Cypress Hill?
Next week, or 2 weeks from now, or whatever, come back for another episode. But until then,
stay jawsome.